If you work from home or follow a hybrid model, dividing your time between your home and workplace, there are changes on how to claim home office expenses on your tax return that you should know about.
Before you could have a flat tax rate, now they're basically saying no more of that. We want your detailed calculation of your home office.
The CRA defines a number of criteria in order for you to be eligible to claim home office expenses via the detailed method.
You can't just say, well, I'm going to work at home today because I don't want to go into the office. And if your employer allows it, that does not mean you can claim a home expenses on that.
You can only claim home expenses if your employer required you to work from home or you voluntarily entered into a formal arrangement to do so, and you have to pay for expenses related to your home workspace. This all boils down to
anyone who was working at home and their employer supports them with a T2200. 2200 is a tax form that your employer has to sign that says, yes, you are working at home, and then you file everything on a T777 with your personal tax return.
In addition, your home workspace must either be the only place you work or you should be working there 50% of the time for at least 4 weeks in a row or more. If there is more than one such period, you can claim expenses for each of them.
They basically want to make sure that you're not just someone who works in an office and come home and does a little bit of preparation. So usually if you spend the majority of your time in the home, it's not a problem.
In order to claim home office expenses, you need to calculate how much of your home you're using as your workspace.
I have, a desk. I have a chair. If I wanted to basically try to outline my workspace, I would think most people would agree that I could say 8 by 8 or 10 by 10 in my home is for work. You don't want to claim an entire bedroom.
Once you calculate your workspace area, you need to figure out what percentage of your total home it occupies based on your total square footage. If, for example, that number is 10%, you can claim 10% of expenses, including things like rent, electricity, heat, water, and internet. I think a lot of people will get intimidated by the calculations. How accurate do you need to be?
I think CRA is pretty fair. If you make what I call a reasonable estimate, they're pretty reasonable with you. Just remember, keep your receipts. Best thing for everything, That way, if you're ever questioned by CRA on anything, you've got proof there.
Dilshad Burman, City News.